Hi, good morning, Mr. Surain.
Hey, good morning, Joe.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our free webinar today. Today, free webinar will be covered by Mr. Surain. Okay, now I pass to you, Mr. Surain.
All right. Thank you very much, Joe. Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see. We have Isaac. Good morning, Isaac. Kisun, Atika. We have Karen. Good morning, Karen. Nick Muhammad Aiman. Nur Ramiza. Razaliza. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, a very good morning to you. Selamat pagi, and I hope you are having your favorite beverage, your cup of coffee, your cup of tea, your cup of Milo, hot chocolate, whatever it is. Okay, wonderful. So yeah, good morning, Razaliza. That's a very nice name. Isaac, good morning, and Karen, good morning to you. Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are tuning to Sembang Santai with me, Surain Victor, along with Excel Academy, who is the organizer. Yeah. So the topic for today would be personal well-being, and let's see what I have in store for you. Not much on the, I would say, not much on the definitions and the whats, the whys, the hows, but more of what can we do about it, right? Because we want to walk away from this webinar with some tips, some tools, and some ideas on, hey, what can I do about it? All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let me just share some of my slides with you. Not much, don't worry, just a few. And get your pen and paper ready in case you want to take down some important notes. Yeah. Okay. Hang on, just give me a second before we go to Menti. Okay, a bit about myself. I've been in the training and development industry for the past 15 years. I also do a bit of therapy work. I do a bit of rock climbing, actually quite a lot. And prior to being a trainer, being a speaker, I was prior to being a trainer, I was a public speaker for the Malaysian Arts Council. And prior to that, I was a tutor in a few universities. Yeah, just a bit of background for you. Okay, so let me share my slides. There you go. Okay. Right. Please do feel free to ask me any questions as we go along the way, or feel free to chime in. Yeah, just turn on your microphone, or you can just type in the chat box. I'll be more than happy to hear what you've got to say. Right. First up, let me just cover one definition. What is personal well-being? What is personal well-being? So let's take a few seconds to read this definition here. It covers a broad range of areas, broad range of fields of study. This is the textbook definition of well-being. I'll give you my understanding based on my experience with my participants and my clients of what well-being is, and how is it that we can achieve more of it, right? So it talks about health, happiness, prosperity, money. It talks about mental health. It talks about life satisfaction. But life satisfaction in what area? Yeah, a sense of meaning, a purpose, the ability to manage stress. Yeah. Now, the first key point here is health. That I want to share a quote with you. There is a quote in Chinese, but I couldn't get the exact sentence for it. What it translates to is, according to the quote, your family, business, say your career, your hobby, your finances can be represented by the number 0. And health is represented by the number 1. Without health, no matter how many zeros you have, there's no value. And if you have health and you only have 1 0 at the back, you have value. So when I read this, when I came across this saying, yeah, if anyone knows what the exact Chinese saying for it, when I came across it, it gave me a like, oh yeah, oh wow, that is so true. Now I still remember where I was. I was in a mama, and they had these flat screen TVs, and they were showing advertisements, and some of the advertisements were quote sayings, yeah. And when I came across this, it stuck. I didn't even need to write it down. It stuck in my mind. Oh yeah, I mean that's true. Yeah, I can have my family, I can have my finances, I can have my career. But if I don't have health, then how am I supposed to pursue or enjoy the rest? But if I have health, then even though I have just a bit of money, and I have I would say a regular job, that is way better. Yeah. So perhaps you might disagree, perhaps you would like to argue with me, or perhaps you have a different perspective. Please do share with us. We'd like to hear from you. Okay, now, therefore, I want you to, let's try this, yeah. I want you to go to this website. Okay, let me just stop sharing for a bit. And let's do a sort of like a survey or a poll. Yeah. Okay, hang on. Yeah, just give me a second. Where is it? All right, now, can you please go to menti.com, yeah, and type in the code 29100475 and answer this question. What one word that comes to your mind when thinking about personal well-being? So if you can, if you can go to menti.com, key in the code, and perhaps each one of you can type in one word that comes to your mind when thinking about personal well-being. Let's try this. So I'll give you about a minute. Okay. Are you able to get into Menti? Right. I don't see any responses so far. Anyone? Okay. Karen, you can answer. Yeah, can you type in one word that comes to your mind if when you think about personal well-being? All right, let's give it a few more seconds. Okay. All right. Now, if you can't get into menti.com, perhaps you can just type in the chat box what comes to mind when thinking about personal well-being. Okay. All right. Yep. Perhaps anyone would like to share what comes to your mind when thinking about personal well-being. Okay. To make it easy, to make it simple, yeah. Personal well-being is how well do you feel? So when someone asks you, how well do you feel? You can think about a lot of things. What? My finances, my relationships, my physical health, my mental health, Yeah, what it means by how well are you? Yeah. So how well are you doing at work, in your family, with your leisure activities, with your hobbies, and with your things that you're passionate about? Yeah, how well are you doing with all those? Why? Because all those contribute to your overall feeling of happiness, yeah, your life satisfaction. So there is the pleasant life, there is the engaged life, or some people call it passionate, and then there is the higher purpose life. This one is also called licking the earth, the pleasant life, whereby your key life areas are taken care of. You're okay. And then the other one is where you have the engaged life, or being in a state of flow, whereby you're highly engrossed in doing something. Yeah. Okay. And then there is the higher purpose. So all these three, I would say, levels or kinds of lifestyle contributes to your short-term, mid-term, and long-term happiness. Yeah. The advice is, from what I've got from my research, is try to have, try not to focus on just one. Try to have at least a perspective, or rather goals, or achieving all three. Having a higher purpose, being in a state of flow, whether it's through a work or through a hobby, and also achieving a pleasant life. Yeah. The easiest one is the pleasant life. And then when we can find something that we can really be engrossed in, that'll be the engaged life. And then perhaps some of us, we have a higher calling. We have something that we want to do, which is bigger than us. Yeah. And that will be a higher purpose. All right. That one will give you long-term happiness, then mid-term, and then short-term happiness. All right. Let me get back to my slides and see what we have. Right. So take a pen and paper, yeah, and let's do a short assessment. Yeah, let's do a short assessment as to see how optimistic you feel. Okay, now thinking skills, yeah, the ability to think positively, think optimistically, is needed if you want to improve your personal well-being. So now the question now is not what, the question now is how. How do we increase our personal well-being? Here are some of the skills. And one of the skills is to be able to think more positively and optimistically. Yeah. Also, based on my literature review, after a certain income level, your increase in happiness is no longer influenced by income, household income, rather by a few other things. And one of it includes thinking patterns, being able to develop positive and optimistic thinking patterns. That gives you not only a sense of more happiness, but it gives you resilience as well. Yep. Okay, so get your pen and paper, and let's assess, let's find out how optimistic or positive thinking, forward looking you are. All right. There are 5 questions. Yeah. So for each statement, for each question or statement, you can give yourself a score of 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Yeah. Okay. If you agree, you give yourself 4. If you strongly agree, yes, this statement describes me, give yourself 5. Otherwise, give yourself a 3, 2, or 1. Let's begin. Statement number 1. Despite challenges, I always remain hopeful about the future. Is this something that describes you? Especially now, during these difficult times, from last year, March, until about this year, it's still going on. Yeah, it's still, I would say, quite challenging to a few people, a huge number of people. Despite challenges, I always remain hopeful about the future. Is this something like you? Statement number 2. I always look on the bright side. Yeah. I always look on the bright side. This one, I'll give you a tip later. How to look on the bright side. Okay, so let's say business is poor, or you've used up your savings, family members are not well. So what is the bright side of all this? I lost my job. I needed to sell my car. What's the bright side of all these events? Okay, statement number 3. You're confident that your way of doing things will work out best. Or are you in doubt? Yeah, are you was about your way of doing things? You feel that, no, I think my way, yeah. Do you have that seed of doubt in you? And statement number 4, do you have a future plan? It could be 3 years, it could be 7 years. It doesn't necessarily have to be 5 years. Yeah. And lastly, if you get a bad result, do you focus on the next door? Yeah. Okay. So, what is your score? Did anyone here get 18 and above? If you did the assessment, did anyone here get 18 and above? Let's see now in the chat box. All right. Yeah. So if you total up your scores, the maximum score is 25. Yeah, 5 for each statement. If you score anything from 9 to 17, then I would say you are fairly optimistic. And the question now is, how? So how do I become more optimistic? Yeah, how do I develop my thinking skills, my thinking habits to be more optimistic, to be more positive? Now, remember I said, I showed you statement number 2. Despite challenges, I always look on the I always look on the bright side. Yeah, that was statement number 2. Now, how can you look on the bright side when bad things happen to you, unwanted, undesirable events happen to you, or see my statement there, I used the word too. How does it make you feel, and what kind of thinking pattern do you have? Yep. So, for example, yeah, if I get terminated from a job, or if I need to shut down my business, or if a family member falls sick, yeah, the health is affected. One thing you can do is, instead of asking yourself, yeah, here's a tip, yeah, of how to change your perspective. Instead of asking yourself, why did it happen to me? Yeah, when you think about it, you change it to, why did it happen for me? So this is my first tip, or my first, I would say, how-to that I want to share with you. This has really helped me a lot when I went through difficult periods or difficult events in my life. Yeah, so failures, difficulty, challenges. So when I reminisce, when I look back, when I ask myself, why did it happen to me? It tends to make me feel bitter, angry, remorseful, bitter, angry, frustrated. Yeah. Instead, when I ask myself, what did happen for me? I start to look for reasons why this happened for me. Is it because to make me more cautious, to make me focus more on my savings? Is it because then I can start to appreciate the people around me? Yeah. So it prompts you to head into a different thinking pattern, just by changing one single word. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you can apply this when you start thinking about the difficulties and the challenges and the failures that you experience in your life. Okay, let's move on. Now, just now in the definition, now I'm going to share a lot from based on that first slide, which is the definition of well-being. The other thing that was mentioned, if you took note of the first slide, it talks about mental health. Yeah. So well-being could be in many of your life areas: your health, your relationships, your finances, your work, career, your leisure activities, your spirituality. Yeah, there's many areas, the key life areas. I myself, I subscribe to the 6 key life areas. I'll show you later. But for some, you have 8, for some 10, or for some people, they keep it simple, 4. So you can, there are many models out there. Pick the ones, or pick the one that you can really relate to, and for you, it's I like this key life areas. Yeah. So some key life areas, it goes all the way from 5 right up to 8, and some 10. Right. So one of it is health. And when it comes to health, it's not just physical health. Yeah. In psychology, we like to use this term biopsychosocial. So it's your biological health, your physiology, yeah, your body, just rohani, rohani, physical. And then there is your mental health, biopsychosocial, psychology. And then there is your social health, your relationships, yeah, social. So good mental health. What is good mental health? Yeah, so let's have a look at this definition. Yeah, there are 2 parts here. Yeah, mental health is the absence of, for example, Parkinson's, Alzheimer, autism, what do you call it, cerebral ataxia, what else? Psychopathy. Those are ADHD, panic attacks. Those are mental conditions, yeah, and disorders. And then there's the other part of it. Are you able to perform these 4 functions, these 4 activities? We'll have a look at the second part, this one. Yeah. We won't go into the first part because the first part requires a clinical psychologist to do it. Yes, I'm a certified clinical hypnotherapist, but I'm not a certified clinical psychiatrist or psychologist, right? So I wouldn't want to touch on point number 1. Rather, I want to touch on point number 2. So get your pen and paper ready, take note. The ability to okay. So are you able to fulfill 4 key functions and activities? And what are those 4? Let's start with this. Yeah. The ability to learn. So ask yourself, when was the last time you actually learned something new? In the last 3 months? In the last 2 months? 1 month? Or in the last 1 week, perhaps? Yeah. Right. You find that, hey, you haven't learned anything new in the past 1 week or 1 month or 3 months, then this is an area that you need to look into. Yeah, learning contributes to your good mental health. Learning. Now, whether you become good at it, that is competency, that is skills. Yeah, but first and foremost, learn. Did you learn anything new about geography, about history, about the arts? Yeah. Okay, and I'd like to share with you some of the this quote, whereby learning never exhausts the mind. No matter how much you learn, what you learn, whether it's depth or breadth, it does not exhaust your mind. Yeah, unless you do have, you do know anyone who has suffered serious migraine or serious brain damage because that person learned too much. Yeah. Now, if you say that the person is a bookworm and the person doesn't eat, the person doesn't exercise, doesn't sleep well, yeah, of course, that will contribute to poor health. But have you come across anyone who is okay, physically healthy, is doing what a regular person should do, but because that person is learning too much, the person is suffering from some kind of brain damage? Do you know anyone who is of that? Not that I know of, yeah. So don't worry about learning and learning and learning and learning. Especially now, there's a lot of webinars, there's a lot of online classes, yeah. Oof, just log in. I myself have benefited from other trainers simply by listening to them for half an hour, 1 hour, and I immediately put to practice, apply it, and poof, I managed to solve some problems. I managed to get aha moments, and I managed to get some ideas and tips on how to manage my money better. Great, fantastic, yeah. Okay, the other one is, are you able to express, yeah, or feel and identify emotions? Now, this is when emotional intelligence come in. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to show some pictures and see whether you can identify the emotion. Yeah. And ask yourself, are you able to feel that emotion? Yeah. That is an indicator of good mental health. And good mental health will contribute to your personal well-being. All right. So once again, yeah, when you increase your emotional intelligence, it contributes to your mental health. And when you have better mental health, it contributes to your personal well-being. Okay. Right. So the first diagram picture that I want to share with you is, what do you think this person is feeling? You can just type it out in the chat box. Okay. All right. What do you think? Now, if you said joy, correct, but there are other words to describe it as well. Yeah. If any of these words came across your mind when you saw this picture, yep, correct. You're able to identify this emotion. The next question is, are you able to feel this or not? If you can't feel joy, happiness, bliss, yeah, okay, there's something is amiss. Yeah, you need to get yourself checked out. Right? This is a basic human emotion that everyone, no matter your culture, your background, should be able to feel. Right? Okay, and the next emotion would be sadness. Oh no, sorry, this one, sadness. I wanted you to guess. All right, and these are some of the words that you can use besides sadness to explain how you feel. Yeah. Now, having a rich vocabulary to explain emotions is a way to increase your emotional intelligence. Yeah. This book, where is it? Oh yeah, the textbook, Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman. He says that one of the things you can do to increase your emotional intelligence is to have a richer vocabulary when it comes to describing emotions. Okay, let's see now. Emotion number 3. Yeah, what is this emotion? It's anger, and these are some of the other words that you can use to describe anger. Okay, emotion number 4 would be this. And this is called disgust. And these are some of the other words to describe this emotion. Next up, we have this. Yeah, fear. That's right. I'm sure every one of us have felt fear or uneasiness or anxiety in their life. Yeah. Especially for me, this is especially true last year when we were going through drastic changes, which came to us cold turkey. Yeah, all of a sudden. Yep. Okay, and so these are some of the words. And lastly, emotion number 6. This would be surprise, right? Okay, so those are the basic 6 emotions. Now, ability number 3 is the ability to form and maintain good relationships with others. Yeah. So the question now is, have you made a new acquaintance or friend in the last 3 months? Yeah. The ability to form relationships with others. Then, are you able to maintain it? Right. Now, do you have a 2 a.m. friend? Now, what does it mean by 2 a.m. friend is, do you have someone who you can call up at 2 a.m. yeah, 2 in the morning to ask for help. To me, that is an indicator that you have a really, really good friend, someone that you can really count on. And the person won't be annoyed or won't be bothered by your phone call. Okay, what does it mean by RM2K friend is, do you have someone who you can just call up and ask for financial assistance without him or her judging you? Right? If you do have such friends, then great, wonderful. Yeah. And number 4 is, how do you cope with change and uncertainty? Right. So let's have a look. In these past 2 weeks, yeah, let's recall, in these past 2 weeks, have you felt any of these? Feeling nervous, anxious, on edge, yeah, not being able to control or stop worrying, or worrying too much. What else? Do you have trouble relaxing? You want to watch TV, you want to just sit on the couch, but you seem to be fidgeting. Your mind seems to be haywire, going here and there, thinking about issues, thinking about what's going to happen, what just happened. Do you have trouble relaxing? Do you have trouble sleeping? Okay. Okay. This one, being restless, and this one. If you have felt any of these, then you need to consider about your stress management. These are indicators that you're not managing your stress well. Okay. Right now, let's see now. Okay, so I shared with you the 4 abilities. Now, these 4 abilities is an indicator of good mental health, and increasing or rather maintaining a good mental health contributes to your personal well-being. All right. Now, so I started with bio. I talked about physical health, which is something that we can achieve through proper nutrition, yeah, the food that we eat, sleep, and also exercise. Yeah, I wouldn't want to go too deep into physical health because I'm not a certified physical fitness instructor. I'm not a nutritionist or a dietitian. I can share my personal experience, what I did, what I experimented, my habits, but I wouldn't want to go too deep into it, right? Okay, next up is psycho, which we covered just now. So bio, psycho, and now social. Yeah. I'd like to share with you this statement, 15 cigarettes per day. When I come across a statement also, it gave me oh, wow. It gave me a wow feeling. It seems that according to Professor John Cassioppo in Chicago, acute loneliness, yeah, being alone, now during the lockdown, yeah, a lot of people are either alone or, yeah, they are just seeing the same person or the same few people for months on end. So acute loneliness is as bad as smoking 15 cigarettes per day. So someone who is feeling acutely lonely, the amount of stress that the body is experiencing is as though the person is smoking 15 cigarettes per day. All right? The amount of cortisol, it's called the stress hormone. The amount of cortisol that is released in the body is as though the person is smoking 15 cigarettes per day. Now, cortisol is good if it's just for a short moment. Yeah, cortisol is good when something urgent happens. Yeah, requires your immediate attention. Then you have cortisol to stress you up a little bit. It's called good stress, so that you can focus and pay attention, and your body physically, you're ready for action. But cortisol on a regular basis, day in, day out, oh, you have all these negative consequences, right? So stress management is highly important, especially during last year and this year, and I don't know what's going to happen next year, whereby things are very uncertain, things are very ambiguous, things are very volatile, yeah, and also things are very complex. It's called the VUCA. yeah, a volatile, uncertain, complex, and also ambiguous. We really need to learn how to manage our stress. And the solution for it is, so what's the antidote for being sad, for being depressed, for feeling a bit blue under the weather? Now, what they recommended they say that there are pills, there are medication out there to treat your mental condition, to treat your insomnia, your anxiety, your nervousness. There are pills out there. I'm not a proponent of pills. I'm not against it, but I'm not a proponent. Instead, I would suggest a more holistic approach. Yeah, would say let's go back to basics, which is others and ourselves. When you have other people, when you're around people and you're outdoors, that is the greatest antidepressant for anyone. That is according to Professor John Cassioppo when he asked his patients who is experiencing depression, a few of his patients, to start a vegetable garden. And he found that others plus outdoors, because in outdoors you're with the elements of nature, yeah, water, soil, wind, and fire. What else? Wood. Yep. So those are elements of nature. When you're surrounded by Mother Nature with other people, it's a very powerful antidepressant. Now, this is the issue that a lot of us faced last year and this year. During the lockdown, we were not able to socialize. We were not able to be with our friends and family. On top of that, we were not allowed to go out to do our runs, our hiking, our cycling. Yeah, those of you who play golf or hiking or like camping, we were not allowed to do it. So that is why a lot of people were depressed last year, especially last year and early of this year. Yeah, a lot of my patients come in complaining that they feel down, they feel depressed, they feel anxious simply because they couldn't go out. So being outdoors and being with others is actually a powerful antidepressant. Now, being with others, when you touch someone, when you hug someone, it releases oxytocin. Oxytocin is a powerful painkiller. Oxytocin will dissipate your cortisol. Remember, cortisol is a stress hormone. So oxytocin is something that will counter cortisol. Yeah. Okay, that is what I have for bio, psycho, social. So my approach to health is not just physical, but it's bio, psycho, and social. Your physical health, your mental health, and also your relationships. Right? It's called the three-pronged approach to good health. Right. What else that I want to share with you? This is one of my favorite points, or rather homework, that I like to give my patients and my participants. So talking about thinking patterns, how is it that we can rewire our brain to be able to think a bit more optimistically, so that in times of difficulty, we can say to ourselves, okay, what is the silver lining here? What is the solution here? Okay, what is it? What good things that may come out of this? Yeah, what is the bright side of this? All right. Okay. So how is it that we can train our brains to be able to think that way, to have that kind of inner conversation, whereby I think things will look up. I think things will start to be better. I think things that instead of thinking that this is gonna go on for another 3 years, there are no hope. There goes my distance. Yeah. So how can we be more optimistic? Now, these are the 5 things that you can do. I'm just going to give you the first letter and see whether you can guess what they are. The first one is gratitude. So what you do is that when you wake up in the morning, try to list down at least 3 things that you are thankful for before you check your phone. Now, this is called doing groundwork before you start your day. Even before you brush your teeth or wash your face or check your phone, try to do a bit of groundwork, which is gratitude. One of it is gratitude. So this one is too general. Try to be more specific. Yeah. What is it that you're thankful for? Try to be a bit more specific, because this will then make you really think about it. Okay, I'm happy to be alive. I'm grateful to be able to be alive, but what exactly? To be able to breathe, to be able to have breakfast, to be able to go to work, to be able to have a good night's sleep. Yeah, be specific. The more specific, the better. And there's a lot that you can list down, but try for a start, list down 3 first. Okay, then we talk about, okay, yeah, let's try this. So today, right now at 9:40 a.m., what are you thankful for? Yep, can you quickly think about it? You don't need to look far, just look at yourself. What's on you, what you have with you. Okay, next one is, we've covered gratitude. Let's see what we have next. Acts of kindness. For example, complimenting a friend, giving a small gift, yeah, opening a door. Yeah, all right. These are acts of kindness. Donating blood. Okay, so the question is, what are some acts of kindness can you show to someone else today? Right? Maybe when you go to the petrol station, you pump in fuel, you might want to give like 5 ringgit to the pump attendant. Yeah. Okay, third one is exercise. Yep, exercise. So these are some of the things. Now, exercise, it doesn't need to be 1 hour at the gym or need to run for 10 kilometers. If you do it, okay, good. But for this particular what do you call it, homework, or rather challenge that I'm going to give you, requires you to do it every day. So what kind of exercise that you are able to do every day? Not intense, but you can keep it up for a few days. Okay, example would be walking around the neighborhood, yoga, skipping. Okay, right. Now, what about this? Yeah, meditate. Later, I will show you a short video clip. It's not really meditation, it's mindfulness. Mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness/meditation. It's a timeout. Yeah, I'll show you a short video clip. Now, this one in Malay, it's bertafakur. Yeah, so take time to meditate as well. Not sleep, not take a nap. Yeah, meditate. So if you can do meditating and gratitude early in the morning, first thing in the morning, that's a good start. That's a good start that will contribute to your personal well-being, really. Okay. Lastly, we have reflecting or journaling. Now, what does it mean is, before we turn off the lights, when we want to go to bed, we want to call it a day, try to think back of one good thing that happened to you in the past few hours. Yeah, no matter how bad your day went, no matter how shitty your day was, I'm sure there's one good thing that happened to you in that day, if you think hard enough, if you look hard enough. Yeah, so this is like number 1. Number 5 is like number 1, whereby you always try to look at, even though there's a lot of negativity in my life now, this year, no matter how bad my day is going, I'm sure there is one thing good that happened to me if I look hard enough. Yeah, that's why it's called training your brain, rewiring your brain. It requires effort, and you need to do it for. Okay, let's try this. Yeah, one good thing that happened to you yesterday. Okay, you need to do it for 21 days in a row. Then you can see the results. Because like training, you want to build bigger biceps. You can't do push-ups for one day and expect to have stronger or bigger biceps. So it's the same thing with rewiring your brain. It's not a one-time thing. It needs to be done repetitively. Yeah, over, well, I will give you 3 weeks and you will see the results. Okay, we have a question here from Atika. Does breathing exercise equals to meditate? Wonderful. Atika, to answer your question, if you focus on your breathing, I would say yes. But breathing exercises alone, I would say it's a good form of managing your stress. Whether you focus on your breathing during yoga, or whether you just do breathing exercise and nothing else, it's for stress relief. Yes. But when you focus on your breathing, when you focus on the sound of the air going through your nostrils and the sound when you exhale, when you sigh out, yeah, and also a few, I would say, not say mental tricks, but a few thought patterns, then that is meditating. Yes, I would agree with Atika. Breathing, really, breathing is, I would say, one of the easiest way to release stress and also to get into a state of meditation. Yep, right. Don't worry, Atika, I'll show you a video clip later. And during the video clip, you just focus on your breathing, yeah, and listen to the sound of my voice. Right. Is there anything else that let me share before I share the video with you? Okay, now I want to give you a tool. It's called the Yin and Yang of self-compassion. Yeah. Are you familiar with Yin and Yang? You've come across it before? Yeah. Anyone? Okay. Yin and Yang is a concept of dualism in Taoism. Yeah. Whereby there's the opposites. Yeah, and they mesh together and they work together. Like a piano, if you play the piano, you have the black keys and the white keys. Together, they make beautiful music, yeah? You can't play the piano with just the white keys, nor can you play with just the black keys. So it's a concept of dualism. You need both to give you wholesomeness. Okay, what does it mean by yin and yang or self-compassion? This is a tool, yeah? Later you'll try it yourself. The yin is comforting. Now, before that, what is self-compassion? What is self-compassion? Self-compassion, to make it very easy for you, is being a good friend to yourself. There's a lot of textbook definition of self-compassion, but the easiest one is being a good friend to yourself. All right? So the yin and the yang, what it means is the yin is more feminine. Being a good feminine friend to yourself, whereby you're comforting, soothing, and validating. Okay, and the focus would be to be with ourselves. And then there's the masculine friend. There's the masculine approach to self-compassion, whereby you are being protective, providing, and motivating. This is the yang, the yin and yang. This is the yang of self-compassion. And the focus is to act out in the world. Okay, so what it means, let's go to the practical, yeah? So how do you use this tool? What you need is a pen and paper or a notebook and relaxing music. So what you do? Step 1, choose a difficult situation. Choose a difficult life situation. Example, frustration with my clients, frustration with my business partners. You're overwhelmed by the website and apps that you need to use, yeah, for your digital marketing, and also perhaps argument with your family. Yeah, choose a difficult life situation. Now, I'm just giving you examples. You can come up with your own. Okay, then let's start with the yin. Find something that is comforting, that fulfills your emotional needs. For example, these are just examples. Okay, write it down. Okay, let's go to the soothing aspect. What can you do to feel physically calmer and more at ease? Like what Atika said, deep breathing exercises. Yes, it soothes you. Yeah. So Atika, yes, this is the yin self-compassion, deep breathing. All right, take a long hot shower, relaxing music, deep breathing. There you go. All right, the third one is validating. Yeah. So again, how can you be a good friend to yourself? So what is your inner conversation, your internal conversation? Okay. You're feeling lousy, you're feeling sad, you're feeling angry, you're feeling depressed, and it's okay. Yeah, validate whatever that you're feeling, good and bad. All right. These are some of the things that you might say to yourself. Okay, step 3 is the yang, self-compassion. The masculine approach to self-compassion. First, protecting. Yeah. So someone is making you stressed out, upset, angry. What can you do with that person? Your housemate, for example. Can you avoid them altogether? That's it, I'm moving out. If you can, yeah, please go ahead. Yeah. Or maybe you can be upfront with them and you can tell them straight to the face. Be polite, but in an assertive manner. Yeah. Or perhaps just get rid of it. Okay. Providing. Yeah. Okay. And the third one is motivating. Right? Okay. So these are the 3 examples. Yeah. And that's it. So that is the yin and yang of self-compassion. It's a tool. Yeah, it's a tool on how you can practice self-compassion, right? Which contributes to your personal well-being. Yeah, so everything is tied up to your personal well-being. Yeah. So again, self-compassion, just to quickly recap, self-compassion is being a good friend to yourself, and you can do it both the masculine way and the feminine way. Yeah, together it becomes more wholesome. So those are the things that you can do when you want to practice self-compassion. All right, and also I talked about biopsychosocial, how you can approach health using a 3-prong, which is you attack your bio, you take care of your bio, your food, sleep, and exercise, your take care of your mental health, and take care of your relationships. Yeah. Okay. Now, regarding what Atika said, yeah, thank you for reminding me. I want to share with you one video clip. And this video clip is mindful/meditation. Okay. So all you need to do is just turn on the audio, right? hang on, yeah, let me just. Turn on the audio and just listen to the video clip. And you may want to close your eyes. Oh, sorry, hang on. I think I should use the wrong one. Okay.
Our lives are filled with distraction, filled with stimulation. But imagine if there was a way to slow things down for the mind to unwind and for our bodies to let go of the stress. When was the last time you stopped? That you were still? That you put down your phone? That you got rid of all the distractions around you? When was the last time you did nothing and really did nothing? We're gonna start with the eyes open and a nice soft focus, just aware of the space around you. And with that soft focus with the eyes, we're gonna take a couple of big, deep breaths, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. As you breathe in, notice how the lungs fill with air, the body expands. As you exhale, just noticing how the body softens as you breathe out. Just one more time, breathing in through the nose, and this time, as you breathe out through the mouth, if you'd like to, just gently closing your eyes. And just take a moment before you do anything else, just to appreciate and enjoy that feeling of having stopped, of having nothing to do, nowhere to go. Notice the feeling of weight, the weight of the body pressing down against the seat or the floor beneath you. And take a moment as well just to notice your surroundings without looking around. Just noticing the different sounds, not trying to shut them out. Perhaps noticing any resistance towards them. Just getting comfortable in that space. And use this opportunity as well just to notice how the body feels. Very often, we don't really take time to notice how the body feels. So is there a feeling of heaviness or lightness in the body? A sense of restlessness or stillness in the body? And as you bring your attention into the body, just starting to become more aware of that feeling, that movement of breath in the body. So just settling the mind, again, thoughts are gonna rise, the mind's gonna wander. Just notice when the mind's wandered off, and just gently come back to the breath. To begin with, we're just noticing the breath in a very general way. Perhaps starting to notice whether the breaths are long or short, deep or shallow. And we might find ourselves thinking either about the exercise or other things. Just realizing when that's happened, letting those thoughts go, and coming back to the breath again. So remember, no effort required. The body knows how to breathe. Not getting involved in any thinking, just allowing the thoughts to come and go. And in those moments when you realize the mind's wandered off, just gently bringing the attention back to the breath again. So we'll just stay with that feeling, a rising and falling sensation, just for a few moments longer. And then, just for a moment now, I'd like you to let go of any focus, even of the breath now. And for a few seconds, just allow your mind to do whatever it wants to do. So, if it's been wanting to think, you can let it think now. Just allow your mind to do whatever it wants to do. And now, just gently bringing the attention back to the body. Just coming back now to that feeling of weight. That feeling of weight of contact against the seat or the floor beneath you. Perhaps noticing the sounds around you again. And whenever you feel ready, you can just gently open your eyes again. But before you move, just take a moment to notice how you feel in your body and in your mind. The more often we do this after taking a time out, the more we are reminded of how much we need to pause in our life to take this time out for ourselves. And if you can resist any temptation to analyze what's happened, the benefits, or anything else, just knowing that in taking the time, it's making a difference. And the final bit of advice is always, before you get up, just remind yourself as an intention to take this quality of mind with you into your life. It's great to take some time out, to close our eyes, to be still, to be quiet. And there are real benefits to that. But the real benefits of taking a time out are found when we take that quality of mind into our everyday life, into our relationships, into our experience. So always putting in that intention before you get up and move. Thank you.
All right, great. So that is something that I use when I want to meditate / practice with mindfulness. And the focus is always on the breathing, yeah, like what Atika mentioned. All right, so these are some of the ways for you to feel better, to feel good, to feel great. Now, when you are feeling that way, you are in a different state of mind. Really, the way you think, yeah, your rational, your logical, your reasoning part of the brain rests on emotions. A lot of people say that put your emotions away and just think logically. But no, you cannot separate emotions from how you think and what you think. Yep. Our thinking is always on the bedrock of emotions. So when you can feel good about yourself and when you can feel great about yourself, whether it's by meditating, practicing self-compassion, thinking your changing your thinking patterns, being more optimistic, then it affects the way you think. And the way you think, the way what you believe and what you say, what you do will then be affected, yeah, in a positive manner. So once you feel great, you'll start to do things differently. So that is the doing part. Whether it's achieving your goals, whether it is at work, whether it's with your friends and family, whether you're pursuing your hobbies, your other interests, you do it with a different mindset, with a different thought process. Yeah, and the results that you get later will be different as well. So it starts with how you choose to feel about yourself and how you choose to think about the situation, about yourself, about the challenges that you go through. And then how you behave later, how you do things will be different and it will give you different results. Yep. Okay, awesome. Better to do it in the morning. Okay, great. Karen, thank you for your question. I do it in the morning. Before I start my day, even before I have breakfast, I take a very quick, just what I showed you just on the video clip. I just listen to it. Whether it makes sense or not doesn't matter, yeah, because it's subconscious, yeah. Just a quick 5 minutes, do a bit of gratitude, and then I go have my coffee, have my breakfast, and then I start my day. All right. So it's good if you do it in the morning. At night, if you want to sleep well, yes, therapy, hypnosis works. Yeah, this kind of self-hypnosis, soft, soothing sounds and voiceovers is good. You can get it from YouTube, or if you want, Karen, I can make one for you. Yeah, a simple light hypnosis to help you to relax and to help you sleep. If you want, Karen, we can communicate through email, and then I can prepare one for you. All right. Tailor-made especially for you with your name and the music of your choice. All right, great. So just let me put down my email address and perhaps we can communicate further, yeah? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us today for Sembang Santai. So I hope that you have gained some ideas, some tips, and some tools on how to improve your personal well-being, so that you can feel great and you can do great things. Stay optimistic. All right. Thank you very much. I'll pass it back to you.
Yeah, hi. Thank you, Mr. Surain. Hope you guys enjoyed the section. Before we end, can I request you all to help me scan this QR code for giving some feedback so we can improve in the future? Many thanks, guys. All right. Thank you, guys. Stay safe. Have a nice day, guys. Bye-bye.